Doing a 17 SD. I'm playing Venthyr because we don't have one. I've got double ego and forceps. So I'm going to try and set up a little bit of healing here before I have to open up this lantern. It is unfortunately sanguine, which means that the Earth Alley is a pain in the ass. And if you use it on the big pools where you'll get the big dam, then he can pull through it and keep the trash in the sanguine pools and cause them to heal, so you have to be careful with it. I decided to use it here, but I tend to warn my tank that I'm doing it, so they know to keep an eye out for it. As long as it's multiple targets, I tend to just use Chain Harvest on cooldown. And then to reduce the cooldown on it, I rotate through and use Flame Shocks on everything that I can. I'm not moving forward here because there's a big trap in front of me, but I think they disarm as soon as the Dancer is dead. So, don't take my word for it though. Here that I realized I'm in the wrong soulbind tree. And I don't have a tome, so I can't go outside and change it. But I also realize... So eventually someone trades me a tome and I just kind of leave for a while. And they move on and just pull the next pack without me. I think my tank might have just moved just out of range as I was casting Earth Shield. I ended up casting myself. Which means I sent him off with no Earth Shield and no hots. But he's fine. Let's quickly pop my tome, change my soulbind, drink my tea, and run back in as fast as I can. They're still fine without me. It really does just go to show how much you can afford to DPS as a healer. Provided that your DPS are interrupting everything that is important in as much as they can. I think they're on the Passive and Gorge flappy things. So as long as they're interrupting all of those, they're alright. Everyone's fine, I'm in the right soulbind now, and on we continue. So generally we're killing the relic. It's not my job, sometimes I help, sometimes I don't. But generally I will hold my AoE abilities until the relic is down, just to make sure I don't accidentally get the wrong one. Our hunter says he's going to immune that, so I get out of the soak and then he doesn't hit his immune. I throw some heals on him so it heals up his pot a bit, but he would have been fine. I could have just DPS'd. We've also bloodlusted as well. I throw my rock out. It's sad on single target, but do what you gotta do. It's sanguine and it's also tyrannical, so It helps to have it on the bosses, but just means that I won't do as much overall damage as usual. Keep making my shadowy spot. Get this down my soaking. Gonna move away a little bit for Severing Smash. Just means that the balls spawn further away from the boss. So if you need a bit of extra time to top people, you can. Before you then pop the balls. We're fine, I popped a Healing Tide for that one. I'm loving the 4-set bonus. My totems, I rely on them a lot more now with that instant cast chain heal. So I just used it there to top everyone and then just carried on with my life. We accidentally grabbed a few too many at once there. But it's fine. And the boss is nearly dead. I have to pack a chain harvest. Let's get on my setup first. And then ba-bow. There's a lot in these groups to interrupt. I prefer to focus on the curse of suppression, especially if you don't have more than one decurse. I think we only have one in this group. If you have lots of decurse or heaps of interrupt, then you can get the rack souls as well, because they do hurt quite a lot. But the curse of suppression will silence you. So that's the most dangerous one. Also realized I didn't have any invis potions left, so then I get traded some invis pots, so yeah. Just make sure that you're prepared before you go into dungeons, guys. Check your soul bites. Check your consumables. If I was with the pug, I'd be pretty fucked. I'd probably have to death run and then get someone to res me, which is a bit embarrassing. There's another lantern here, so I'm just moving forward so I can come and grab that. I'm gonna pull the sprites from behind us. Fortunately, one of the DPS pulls aggro, so he goes down. I'm just making sure to move away to snap those chains. There's the Curse of Suppression. It went out. I'm now silenced. Can't do anything for 4 seconds. I don't really get a DPS. This is where it does hurt to not be Kyrian, because Vesper Totem could have been doing its thing while I was healing and doing whatever else. But I'm also silenced again. But that's okay. It's definitely worth it to get the lantern buffs for the team. Plus I just really enjoy playing Venthyr. Chain Harvest is a really fun ability. It's pre-targeting so there is a weak aura that it lets you, like, it helps you target the correct relic. I think it might bring up nameplates for them or something, like a unit frame to the side. I'm not 100% sure. I don't have it. I should get it because it's something I really struggle with, and it's such a pain when I'm playing Elemental. But yeah, as per usual, we grab the cooldown reduction. Can finish up this room. I was doing 10k DPS there without using rock. So it'll be predominantly just from Chain Harvest and Chain Lightning. That's still reasonable. You want to be kicking the barbed shackles from these wardens. They will root one person. And there's really bad overlaps later with the gargoyles and other mobs that do AoE abilities on the floor. If you're rooted and you can't get out of them, they can one-shot you. Just make sure you're focus kicking that warden. This guy's just chilling in the Sanguine. I'll just move on with my life. Open up that lantern there. I drop rock here. And then I see that people's health is going down, so I drop Spirit Link, but not quite in time to save one of our DPS. Bub Shackle cast going out. We didn't get it, so I'm rooted in here, so I popped Astral Shift. I'm totally fine. It's Tyrannical, so it's not too bad. I didn't actually catch if that bot got me before that damage came out. Wonder if that stopped it. Monk released and forgot that we'd done it in Viz skips. Move backwards a little bit to try and get him with the Master Res. It has quite a large range. I think I get him with this one. Yep. I'm just dashing forward to get over to this lantern. I'm sure I'm just waiting for this Chain Harvest to come off cooldown. There it goes. It's so satisfying. That's quite a big chunk of healing as well, so it's really good for topping up the team. Plus with the legendary, it gives everyone Riptide as well. And of course I have the Unity legendary equipped, as well as my Earthly one. I don't tend to use Cloud Burst until there's a little bit of damage coming out, especially now that it also does the same heal. Get that Shackles interrupt. I decide to hold Chain Harvest here in case those two mobs go down, so that I can get a nice AoE cast out of it, and that's partly because it'll give me bigger numbers, but partly because of the Flame Shock cooldown reduction. So the more targets it hits, the more targets it will cast Flame Shock on, and the faster the cooldown will come back. I possibly could have used it though, I'm not sure if I get another AoE opportunity here before the boss. Quite strange when I actually have to heal. Just like to pretend I'm a Closet Elemental Shaman. making sure to keep an eye on that person who gets castigated. It can kill them quite easily. If you get a chance to help, the damage on the manifestation will really help. Because that little ad does a lot of AoE damage to your group. Make sure I don't walk into castigate there. I should be using a rock. Yeah, there he goes. Again, I just hug that right-hand wall until the left-hand damage passes, and then move over. Until the right-hand damage passes, and then move back. There it goes. So move over. You can see that one coming through, and I can move back. I'll wait because I saw the castigate person moved back and also needed healing. I've dropped a healing tide at this point. Apparently I dropped a spur link there as well. I didn't actually see it go out. I'm not being scared for my melee. Try and back off the hunter there so that he's not taking damage from my castigate. And I pop Astral Shift to reduce that damage because that's the biggest single target damage on this fight. The wind's so cool. Makes me want to roll a monk. Getting that big chain harvest. I should have... Something I'm really bad at doing is getting cloud burst down before I chain harvest. Because chain harvest has a lot of burst healing, so it'll capture a lot of healing if I do it properly. I just don't. I think I threw out a cap totem there. Just get in the habit of using your interrupts your crowd controls. See if it hicks really. I think the only thing I really hicks is in mists. And that's the Vulpin on the butterfly boss. There we go. Throwing out my mana tide. I'm on 90% mana anyway, but I like to use it early. Make sure that I'm topped up and throws out a free chain heal, so why not? We're off downstairs. You can send the tank down first to pull the boss and reset it, which helps you to group all the ads down here. We've done it a few times, but we don't tend to do it very often. Make sure I'm kicking those curses because I don't want to be silenced. And then letting those Rexals go through and dispelling them. Okay, and I'm just holding my AoE abilities until the creature relic has been killed, just so I don't accidentally kill the wrong one. I'm trying to get 3 of these. For some reason I find them really hard to run over. I miss them a lot, so I'm very conscious about it. You'll see I take a long time. Stand there and make sure I get it. Everyone's looking okay, so I'd save Spirit Walkers here. This boss has this ability called Iron Spikes that always gets DBM to call for a tank external, but I don't have a tank external. The best shamans have is Spirit Link. Oh, and my paladin stole my orb. I nearly die, and I don't get a heal on myself fast enough, so I do actually die. Get that quick reincarn because I know this is going to really hurt. And die again anyway. Thankfully he's got the engineering thing, so he reses me. Bit sad about wasting my cooldown. If I pop Healing Tide and then die, the totem disappears, so it's just gone. It's got a sentence running, I've got my cloud burst down. Got the chain harvest. This time I do use spirit walkers because I can see there's people that are low and I'm still needing to move. It's a really important ability on this fight. And you don't really want to waste it. Should have put my cloud burst before we all ran away from it. I think that still hits some of us. I'm sitting up while we're line of sighting. Now I'm gonna hit them with chain harvest. Bow. Hit them with cap totem as well. I should be targeting the oppressor so that I can get those interrupts easily. There we go, swapped. Throwing out a flame shock. I'm definitely getting the habit of keeping my flame shocks up now as well. If I'm playing Venthyr, then it helps with cooldown reduction. If I'm playing Kyrian, then it helps to pop the Vesta totem bursts more quickly. We skip this pack of 3. Then we're up to the gauntlet. Which immediately starts to hurt quite a bit. Throw out my healing tide there. Make sure my healing rain's down, so benefit from the conduit. Should be refreshing my cloud burst. Taking too long to do that. I must be holding it for the next pack. Would have missed a lot of healing on that though from the healing tide and healing rain combo. We opted not to drag Carl into the next group in case it ended up sitting in Sanguine. And then healing back up, which I think I actually do later. I think I drop my Earth Elemental later and it holds Carl in some Sanguine and heals it. Which is quite painful. And it's also painful holding Earth Elemental and this big AoE. Yeah, here we go. And she's healing. Thank you, Rock. She healed up to full. Slightly devastating. Right, we'd also accidentally wasted the Aegis, so I dropped a Spirit Link Totem there so we could survive the Gloom Squall. Which we do. Thankfully. Spirit Link's our only DR cooldown. Has, I think, 10% damage reduction on it. I should know that. I feel like I should be more confident about that, but I think it's 10%. Here we go, get our Aegis this time. That's a wee bit hairy. Doesn't look like I have a lot of cooldowns to throw at it though. I didn't see the ground effect. Don't have rain can't. That's a wipe. It's not the end of the world though, we've still got 12 minutes on the timer. There is that invis pack. So unfortunately I think we have to wait briefly for invis pots to come off cooldown. And for those people that can't, they let us go first and then die and then get rezzed on the other side. You'll see I've still got 10 seconds, just letting my team know I'm going to be invising through in 10. And off I go. That kind of precast my res, but I'm in combat, so I can't. And off we go again. Pumping into the tank. It's like I'm holding Earth Alley for the boss. I think I also really don't want to sit anything else in Sanguine at this point. After my mishap with Carl. I'm always a bit cautious about walking in before these guys are dead, just because I really don't want to walk into a trap and die. Make bloodlust here. Make sure I get my flame shocked up. Help with that cooldown reduction on Chain Harvest. Wait by the first one till it goes off and then walk into it. We've got a bit of damage coming out there, so I drop Defendants. Make sure we pick people back up again. If Blizz could make us a girl version of the Ascendance form, that'd be really nice. Or let us glyph it to something else. Dropped Healing Tide now. The Healing Rain on my Cloudburst. I do back out of it just because there's these bleeds coming out as well. I'd rather not be stacked on top of them if I can avoid it. Misclicked my Earth Shield again. Loses me 3 globals because it's the misclicked Earth Shield. They're replacing the Earth Shield and then replacing my Water Shield. Now, out of cooldowns, I dropped Spirit Link on that last AoE. I wonder. I often do drop Spirit Link. Like, if I had it then, I probably would have used it then. Just for that damage reduction. We're all stacked up. About to take damage. It's a good place as any to use it. Easy. To 4.1k overall, so I would have done more as Kyrian. That's also bearing in mind that I was holding Earth LE because of Sanguine. But I'd say a slight DPS loss for playing Venthyr, but then the damage gain to your DPS for you playing Venthyr if no one else is will more than make up for it.